Several states have already done the right thing. It's time for Florida to do the right thing. It's morally right. It's Moral Monday, and we've come to raise our voices to support the reversal of voter purging in our state. It's Moral Monday, and we have come to raise our voices in support of the restoration of full voting rights for ex-felons. Once former convicts are released, they are expected to pay taxes.
And on behalf of our members and our executive committee, on behalf of the Florida A&M University chapter of the NAACP, the Florida State University chapter of the NAACP, and the Tallahassee Youth Council, welcome to the capital of the state of Florida and ground zero for this battle. The fight is on, and the NAACP is here for the challenge.
But Moral Monday is about reminding those who make policy in the state of Florida, our nation's third largest state now, that we, the people, demand that our legislature bring forth policies that support us as people, that talks about our ability to access adequate health care, that educates all children.
It is so good to be here this morning as we have the kickoff of Moral Monday.
Martin Luther King had his moral statement, and what he said was that we begin to die when we stop caring about things that matter. Health quality matters. Affordable health coverage matters. So that's why when individuals turn down $51 billion with a B, when we turn down $51 billion, it's almost an embarrassment for the state of Florida. Because health coverage for all of our citizens matters. It matters that we protect the lives of our young black boys. So stand your ground, and the self-defense laws of Florida matter. And it matters, and it causes us alarm. It's almost insulting when we have legislators who will stand up and say that we're not going to change not one damn comma. Quality, affordable wages matter. It matters that people are able to take care of their families. It matters that they earn a livable wage. And that's why we're here to fight for that, and we will be fighting for that. But I'm here to tell you that all is not well in Florida. All is not well with our son. We've got some problems. We've got a number of problems, and we're going to address those problems. And if they don't put those problems on the agenda, I'm here to tell you that we'll be back in November. We'll be back to vote. We'll be back, and you'll be back. And we're asking you to come out like no other non-presidential election and vote in numbers that would be just remarkable. That you bring your friends, your cousins, and everyone to come out.
A couple of weeks ago, my son and I were watching the March on Washington, the 50th anniversary, and he said, "Dad, things were pretty bad back then. I'm glad they're better now." And I say, "Son, sometimes things don't change. They just change the way they do it." And I'm glad you're here to help us fight the way they do it. See, because we no longer have slave labor, we have not a living wage in the state of Florida. We no longer have white hospitals and black clinics, we have insured and uninsured. We no longer have white schools and segregated black schools, we have underfunded schools and corporate vouchers. We just don't give you the right after you've paid your debt to society. They don't have the signs anymore that say no black or Jews apply. They just have a little box that you got to check if you've ever been arrested. They don't have lynchings in the public square anymore and no one's arrested. They have dead boys in the street and no one's convicted. A lot of things change, but a lot of things stay the same. thank you so much for being here with us today. Thank you for being our backbone. Thank you for being the reason that we're here today, fighting every day for you. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam President. Can you feel the winds of change? Can you feel the winds of change blowing through the state capitol today? Well, I encourage Rick Scott to roll down the windows and feel the winds of change. I am so honored to be here with you as we all together stand up for what's right in the state of Florida. And I'm even more proud to stand here with the members of the Black Caucus of the Florida legislature. While we were fighting the injustices of the Trayvon Martin verdict, few students stood in that Capitol for 31 days and 30 nights, called the Dream Defenders. Today, we are here to continue that effort. And you've heard what's going on in North Carolina. You've heard what's going on in Texas. Well, we're not going to let Florida be taken over anymore. Moral Mondays have come to Florida. Moral Mondays are here to stay in Florida. So whether it's Moral Mondays or Takeover Tuesdays or Work Up and Fired Up Wednesdays or Sick and Tired of Being Sick and Tired Thursdays or Fired Up and Ready to Go Fridays, or just sit back watching all of the horrible things that Rick Scott has done on Saturday. And yes, we may want to take a rest, but we can't because we got to get souls to the polls on Sundays. We have a lot of great members that cover the state of Florida, from the South down by the Keys with Representative Senator Dwight Bullard, all the way up to North Florida and all points in between. These are the individuals who are standing here with me today. They are fighting for you each and every day, not just on Moral Monday. This year is an important year. This year is a pivotal year because we cannot let Trayvon Martin rest. We cannot let Jordan Davis rest. We must get Marissa Alexander home. This year would have been the first year that Jordan and Trayvon would have had an opportunity to vote in a major election. So I'm asking all of you to be Jordan Davis voters. I'm asking all of you to be Trayvon Martin voters. So we got to do one thing. We got to bring change from the White House down to Tallahassee.
On the way down here yesterday, I saw the front page of the Times-Union, and it indicated that the state attorney wanted to give Miss Alexander 60 years for a warning shot. 60 years for a warning shot. In Congress, they give us what we call 1 minute. Now, let me just give you a 1 minute on that case. She was in a relationship with an abused husband that beat her when she was 6 months and put her in the hospital. The baby came early. The incident occurred when the baby was 8 days old. That is an abuse case. But we have a state attorney that has a 70% increase in direct violence of African American youth. What does that mean? That she is filing them as a felon. That is the took 3 billion from education. Read the press.
This is important, ladies and gentlemen. Your assembling here this morning shows not only just Florida, but to the country how important it is for Americans to lift their voices and for those voices to be heard. You are Florida. You are America, and you deserve the right to petition your government. The NAACP will stand with you. And we want to have 1 million new voters by the 2016 presidential election. But just as you have the right to petition and the right to have your voices heard, you've got to take the next step, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to register and vote, because politicians respect people who take the time to know the issues and then go out and vote.
Much has been said about the concept of a moral Monday.